episode of our podcast, we have a very special demonstration, a role play of an owner financing, seller financing deal. Daniel is wearing the deal closer hat, which will grant him an additional 20% of deal closing magic and power. And of course,
hey, how much do these cost?
$15. Get them on.
$15.
And also, be sure to join our Deal Closer Mug Club, right, for only $5 plus shipping. We are live with these, so if you want a mug for yourself or for your grandma that needs some deal closing magic for herself, then that is going to be at the kwakbrothers.com/product.
You know what?
/mug.
I got a great idea for you guys. I got a phenomenal idea for you guys. The camera's over here.
Live, they're watching this from there.
From there, and then the camera. Okay, got it. So I got a phenomenal idea. If you have somebody in your life, warm market, that possibly is a warm market lead for a potential lender, a private lender, gift them this mug and also gift them the hat. They're going to be asking, whoa, what are you a deal closer of? And then bam, start your conversation about real estate.
There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. All right, so in this episode, like I mentioned, we're going to do some role play and demonstration on how owner financing works. And for those who are listening online on Facebook, and by the way, for those who are watching this on YouTube, be sure to join our Facebook group, and I'll leave that link down below in the link description below. So I will be playing the seller. Daniel, having the deal closer hat, will be trying to negotiate.
There's no try.
All right.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Negotiating the deal to turn into owner financing. So we're gonna actually give you guys a typical scenario. Right, we're gonna do a typical scenario, and I'll throw some objections in there to make sure that it's atypical. So, ready and action.
All right, hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
What's your name?
My name is Juan John.
Your name is Juan John?
Yes, my name is Juan John. Yes.
All right, what's your real name, sir?
Juan John.
All right, wonderful. All right, so what do we have here right now? What did we just walk through?
So this is a 5-unit apartment complex.
Okay.
And, it's 2-bedroom, 1-bath each per unit.
Per unit.
And the rent, we're bringing in about $800 per unit.
Per unit.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So what you're telling me is that, are they Class C, Class B, Class A?
You know what? As of now, I don't know. I don't know.
So how long have you owned this building?
I've actually owned it for about 16 years.
16 years.
Yes.
Got it. So what class is it? Is it Class C, Class B, or Class A? You owned it for 16 years. Surely you know.
This is the only property I've owned, so I don't really know.
Okay, got it. So it looks like we're outside of it right now.
Okay.
It looks. I mean, I take it if you don't know what a Class A, Class B, or Class A, are you? Do you do something full time, or are you a full time investor?
I'm actually I'm a full time airline captain.
Oh, wonderful!
Yes.
Great, wonderful, Mr. Quagmire.
Yes.
So you're a full-on what's your airline?
I fly the Not So United airline.
Not So United Airlines.
The divided airlines.
The separated airlines.
Yes, the divided airlines.
Divided airlines.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Where they drag Asian people out of their chairs.
Yes,
precisely. They great, specifically old Asian men.
All
okay,
right.
so you're an airline pilot for divided. So why'd you buy the piece of real estate?
I was making so much money that I don't know why my accountant wanted me to do this, but he wanted me to buy real estate to help me save some taxes.
And obviously you found that to be quite important to you.
Yes, apparently it did decrease my taxes every year.
Is that something that values to you, or?
Yeah. I mean, the less I pay taxes, the better, right?
Oh, okay, great. That's good to keep in mind. So we're standing outside this building, and well, good news for you. It looks like a Class B complex.
Okay, all right.
It's phenomenal, right? It's a great building. You said you owned it for 16 years.
16 years.
I assume you manage it yourself?
I do. Whenever I'm not flying, I manage it. So, when I'm when I'm piloting as a captain, I get busy sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I don't have to fly, that's when I get to manage the tenants.
How's that been working out for you?
It's a little tough, right? I try to manage from the cockpit, but there's no internet, obviously. So I can't necessarily manage the 5-unit from my job.
What are the challenges have you had with managing the tenants?
A lot of times I have to chase them because they haven't paid rent.
Oh, you have to chase them.
Yes.
It's a powerful visual image right there.
with my so I have to make sure I do that. Right? Sometimes I find out 2 months later that the tenants are not paying rent.
No kidding.
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah, because I'm flying all the time for the Divided Airlines.
So you're very busy.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So let me ask you this question. Why are you selling this property?
I'm selling because originally I thought this would be great. My kids retired, or my kids are going to school, and I'm looking to downsize and retire out of the Divided Airline industry.
Interesting. So I heard a lot of negatives, like you're chasing down tenants. I mean, besides the tax benefits, why did you decide to hold on to it for 16 years?
I decided to hold on to it for the rent, being able to collect rent on top of my airline income, right? You never know who else is going to get punched and dragged out of my flight. So I decided to buy real estate just so that I can be stable.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, I don't know too much about real estate investing. So I may ask you some questions,
Sure.
I guess you could say I'm relatively new to this as well.
All right.
So I might just ask a little question just so that I could get a lot of information from both sides, and we can make this work. So remind me again, why do you want to sell the property?
Yeah, I want to downsize. If I need, I want to be able to retire out of the airline industry pretty soon here. And I don't want to be dragged down by a heavy property.
You don't look like you're going to retire.
No, I definitely do want to retire. Yes.
Really?
I'm 68 years old.
Wow,
yes.
68 years old.
Yeah,
they still let you fly planes,
yes.
huh? So you want to retire. Is there any other reasons?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I got enough of my savings to last forever. So, yeah.
Wow. So those savings.
Yes.
Are they in the stock market, or are they in the mutual funds? Or
I had them in mutual funds.
Yeah.
Right. And bonds, short-term investment, and
So why are you going short-term if you're going to retire?
I thought about long. I like stability. I want to be safe. I'm not at the age here where I'm going to risk things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So back in 2008, how much did you lose?
I lost considerably, quite a bit, but I was able to recover thanks to my almighty, all-knowing and wise financial advisor.
Got it. Financial advisor.
Yes.
Interesting. So how long did it take you to stabilize?
I wouldn't say 10 years, about 8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Wow. It's a shame it's going to happen again. So
another
8 years.
Well, I don't know, but I'm trying to get rid of my property. So are you going to make me an offer?
Yeah, I am. So, why don't I do this? I like to give people what they want. I'm just a people pleaser. So what are you looking for? Like,
I want to be able to cash out I want to be able to sell this thing and make at least $250,000.
Okay, $250,000. That's actually a very fair price.
All right.
I have no problem giving you that price. We can actually close on this tomorrow, and I can bring $250,000 cash.
All right.
Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Well, you hesitate a little bit. Why is?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It sounds too to be true that you just want to give it to me right away.
Yeah, well, it's a cheap price. I'm surprised you said $250. I was expecting more like, $300,000.
I'd rather get rid of it quickly.
Okay. So you want to get rid of it quickly?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So you're having issues with this?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, here's what I can do for you. I can give you your $250.
Okay.
But here's the problem that you got.
All right.
Right. You said you own this for 16 years?
I have been owning it for 16 years, yes.
And look, I'm giving you ballpark numbers right now. Everything I'm telling you right now, I want you to assume that I'm lying.
Okay, all right.
All right, and I want you to do me a favor. You said it was your CPA's idea for you to get into real estate in general.
Absolutely.
I want you to confirm this with your CPA.
Yes.
Everything that I'm telling you, I want you to confirm it with him.
All right.
So here are some assumptions that I'm going to make.
Okay.
Some ballpark assumptions, some calculated assumptions that I'm going to make based on the fact that this is the only property you own.
All right.
You've been working through Divided Airlines for a long time.
Yes.
You also happen to have a very high investment and liquidity file. Right. Just give me a ballpark answer. What are you looking at in terms of your retirement? Like how much liquid, how much money do you have in the stock market?
Right now,
just a ballpark.
I have about $3 million.
$3 million. Okay, so that's a lot. The reason why I asked that is because are you put in a pretty high tax bracket right now?
Yeah, I would say so as a captain.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you got $3 million in investment, and I'm assuming you probably work a pretty high paying job.
Yes, as an airline pilot. Yeah.
Got it. So if you're talking about taxable income, you've got the highest of ordinary income.
Yeah.
You've also got the highest in capital gain income tax bracket.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes.
Okay. I know a little bit about tax. I don't know too much again about real estate or
Sure.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I do know a little bit about taxes.
Okay.
All right. Sounds fair enough. If you don't mind me asking, you bought this 16 years ago, which is incredible because that's when I was 8 years old.
All right.
I was watching
great.
Barney and cartoon Pokemons, chewing on Cheerios in the morning.
Well, yeah.
But I tell you what, let me ask you this. What did you buy the property for?
I'd rather not disclose that. Yeah, I'd keep that my secret between just me and my co-pilot.
No problem. Your co-pilot being obviously your wife.
Sure.
Co-pilot of life.
Yes, co-pilot life.
Right? Okay, well, would you be interested in just giving me a ballpark answer if I were to tell you that this information could possibly help you and save you more money?
I'd say about $130,000.
Okay, $130,000. It's a very specific number. It doesn't sound like very ballpark at all.
Yeah, $130,000. I'll just put it that way. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad you can trust me. The more information you give me, the better offer I can give you.
Sure.
So $130,000. You've owned this thing for 16 years.
16 years.
Right. So that's about, wow. Okay. Do you want the bad news first, or do you want the good news first?
Well, I'll take the bad news first.
You'll take the bad news first. Okay, got it. So here's the bad news.
Sure.
Right. So are you aware that this is a 5 units, so it's a commercial piece of property?
Yes.
Residential commercial, right? So are you aware that this property has a depreciation life of 27 and a half years?
I didn't know that. All I know is how to steer the plane.
Oh, awesome! Right on. So it does.
Okay.
So every single piece of property, unless you own a storage unit, that's 39.
Right.
But your property and also my properties, I also am a landlord.
Sure.
It depreciates for 27 and a half years. You own this for 16 years.
Correct.
Right, 16 years. You're looking at around 60% of its life cycle has already been depreciated out.
Okay.
Right, because if you do the math, right, 16 out of 27, because we can all do math,
Sure.
right? We may not know a whole lot about taxes. We may just know how to steer a plane. We all know about.
Sure.
Right, so 60%. So that means that 60% of your $130,000 will be treated as taxable income.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and what's even crazier is that
I'm gonna have to check that with my accountant.
you do, which is why exactly in the beginning I said I just want you, because I'm gonna introduce you some new ideas.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you two options, right? I might as well write this down for you since we have this random sheet of paper here.
All right. Yeah, great.
So option number one is I'm gonna give you your $250,000 in cash.
Okay.
There you go, so that people can. It's like Shin Lim from America's Got Talent. Everyone can see what I'm doing here. Okay, awesome. So $250,000 cash.
Yes.
So you bought this for $130,000, which means about 60%. But again, we're going off ballpark numbers.
Sure.
Right. And who knows, right? I have to do an inspection on this thing, right? Okay. We're just meeting each other for the first time. So just let me know whenever you feel uncomfortable.
All right.
Right. So remind me again, because I do want to help service your needs. Why do you want to sell again?
I'm looking to retire. Right?
Okay, so retire.
This is causing more problems than the money it's worth. We got plenty of money.
Problems. Okay.
Yes, I just want to keep flying planes, and that's for the hobby purposes.
Well, so I heard you say you got $3 million in cash. You just want to get rid of the problems. You want to retire. Why do you want cash?
Well, I want to put it in my already well-performing stock market.
Yeah.
And give it to my almighty, all-wise
financial exactly, financial advisor.
Yes.
Great. So what are you hoping that your financial advisor would do with that money?
Yeah, I hope that he puts in a safe investment, right? AKA under my mattress.
Okay. Under your mattress.
Yes, that's the stock name. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it. And how much returns is there? Just ballpark.
I think he's I don't know. I think 3-4% maybe.
That's very good.
3% I think is probably with the safe. Yeah.
3-4%.
Yes.
All right. Very cool.
Yes.
3-4%. All right. So $250,000 cash. So you wanted the bad news first.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
So 60% of $130,000. Let's do the math together. What is that?
Sure. It's about 75. No, it's about $80,000.
Okay, $80,000. So that $80,000 is taxable income.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. And there are differences between what's called ordinary income and also capital gains income.
Sure.
So ordinary income for you, especially at a very high tax bracket, you're gonna get charged at about 40%.
Wow. I got to double check with that.
You do, right? Exactly, right. So I'm also a pretty high income earner, so I'm also in the. But I'm not actually in the high tax bracket.
Oh.
What's really funny is that I'm actually a self-made millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually qualify for government assistance.
Wow.
That's how good my entity structure is.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Right. Believe me, I felt a little guilty at first, But hey, I think you should keep more of the money that you make. Right? Would you agree?
With that, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. So $80,000 of that is taxable income.
Okay.
You're going to get taxed at 40%.
Okay.
All right. And you know what? At the end, you're going to be able to keep this sheet. You can send it to your CPA.
Okay.
If he verifies everything, then obviously you have the power to make the decision.
All
right? Okay. So 40% of 80,000 is, just give me a ballpark answer.
Let's say 35,000.
35,000. Okay, great. So 35,000 right here. Right. And then I'm going to give you $250,000 cash.
All right.
For this.
Sure.
Right. So I'm going to give that to you. We got $35,000 here. Now, that difference between what you bought it for, so $130,000 minus $250,000, you're looking at about $120,000.
Correct.
That right there is going to get treated as a capital gain income.
Okay.
Right. So capital gain, you will either get marked depending on what your financial situation is, and I don't know what your financial situation is, but depending on your financial situation, your capital gain, you're either going to get marked at 15% or 25%.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Let's just go with 25% because you're at a very high tax bracket.
All right.
And you have such a high investment level. Technically, you're also an accredited investor.
Oh, okay.
Right? Which gives you more freedom to do more things. So you get $120,000 in the difference. That's going to get treated as capital gain. Let's go with 25%. Give me a ballpark answer. What's 25% of $120,000?
I'd say about $30,000.
$30,000. Okay, awesome. $30,000. And I gave you $250,000 cash. You said you're a guy who doesn't want to deal with you more. Your time is more valuable to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't want to deal with the headaches, the problems, the paperwork. So let's say you use, you have closing costs.
Yes.
Right. You go full package closing costs. I mean, you leave everything, title company, attorney. Who knows? Maybe you may even use a broker.
Sure.
To do that. But typically, on average, on a commercial closing, when it comes to an investment property, you're going to be at about 8%.
Okay.
Right. So again, give me a ballpark answer. What's 8% of $250,000?
I'd say about $20,000.
$20,000.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's go with 20,000. So let's add all these up, right? So you got 35 plus 30 plus 20, right? You're looking at $85,000.
Oh wow! And that's the amount I gotta pay?
No, yeah, that's the amount you got to pay. And
wow.
If you don't mind me asking again, I know you're a very reserved person, but how much do you owe on this property? Just the ballpark.
It's free and clear.
Oh, it's free and clear.
I paid it all off.
Wow, so you had this on a very short amortization.
Yes. Well, I actually bought it cash.
Oh, you bought it cash?
Yes, using my airline money.
Right, you used your miles.
Yeah,
your miles and your points.
From the Divided Airlines.
Divided, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you bought it for $130,000, right? Cash. You bought it 16 years ago, right? So let's do the math here, right? So I give you $250,000, which I have investors who can back that up. I can also get a commercial loan. I'm a pretty high net worth individual, so
sure.
Shouldn't be fine, right? So let's subtract that by 85,000. Okay. And do me a favor. What's the answer? I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, sure. That's going to be. This is why I use my airline calculator. I don't like doing math here.
Yeah. But
it appears that it's about, let's see, 175,000, I should say.
Yeah. Did you say 165?
Yeah, 165, 175.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 165,000.
Yeah. Yeah, 165, correct.
So that's the money you'll be walking away with.
Yes.
And
wow.
you're putting that into an account, right?
Sure.
With your financial planner, which I'm sure is phenomenal. What's his name? Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. Okay,
yes.
got it. Yeah,
phenomenal, very wise.
Yeah, phenomenal guy.
He got me invested in some of these stocks.
Aerotime Dynamics, right?
Aerotime Dynamics. He got me invested in Steve Madden. I don't know what that is.
Steve Madden's shoes.
Yes, I think he's incredible. He's genius.
Incredible guy. Right, I went to a party with him one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was phenomenal.
I don't know how come I didn't meet you there.
I started seeing things.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I got to check with that number. I have some doubts.
Yeah, of course.
If this is the right number, or I got to talk to my CPA about that.
Yeah. So okay, so let's take it a step further, right? So your guy said he's giving you 3 to 4%.
Yeah.
Right. And that's an annualized return.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So do me a favor. So you're putting $165,000 into a place where it's giving you 3-4% every single year. Let's do a little bit more math, right? Because here's what I think. Yeah. I think numbers do not lie.
Okay.
I think math doesn't lie, right? So 3 to 4%. Mr. Seller, Mr. Shapiro, right? Do me a favor. What's 3-4% of $165,000?
It's probably anywhere around $4,800, $5,000.
Yeah.
Just around the ballpark.
Right. You're absolutely right. It's actually closer to 5.
Yeah.
So you're going to get $5,000, right, every single year from investing that $165,000 into an account, right? If you're getting 4%, if you want to get fancy, right? If you're getting 4%, you're getting about exactly 6.6, right? So $6,600.
All right.
Right. But let's say for the sake of the example, $5,000-$6,000 ballpark.
Sure.
Right. So you said you wanted to retire, right? And I'm just going off things that you said. You said you want stability.
Yeah.
And you like the idea of getting rent every single month.
Yeah, I like the rent, but I just don't, I don't want to deal with the tenants.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. What if there was a scenario in which you can get both? Would that be any value to you?
I don't know. Do I have to keep the property?
Let's say hypothetically you didn't.
Okay. All right.
How do you like that hypothetical situation?
That's what Jordan's gonna give me. My unwise. I'm so totally wise.
Wise. You got it right the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally wise financial investor. I think he can get me pretty close to what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay, good. What are you looking for?
Again, I want stability, safetyness, right?
Okay.
My wife tells me I gotta make sure that we don't go into anything crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Who are the richest people in the world?
I don't know. You tell me.
Banks.
Oh, right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And who has the most stable investments?
Banks.
Banks.
Yeah.
So here's a hypothetical situation. Again, I can give you $250,000 cash.
Okay.
Right. I can go down to the bank. That's an easy loan for me.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
What I can do for you, however, based on what I've heard, right, because I think we're all good human beings here, what I can do for you is I can have you be the bank.
Okay. What does that look like?
Okay, I was just gonna ask you, do you want me to continue or do you want me to stop?
Sure. No,
I'll continue. Yeah. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna hold a note. Okay. So you're gonna hold the mortgage.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds a little risky.
It does, right? So let me break this down for you, right? So let's say hypothetically speaking, you give me 4% interest. You give me a 20-year note.
I'm giving you a 4% interest every year. So I gotta give you money?
No, I'm giving you money.
Oh,
so
okay.
Well, let's do some math, right? So I'm still gonna buy this thing for $250,000, right? I'm not gonna defer from that. Would you agree that me not counting or offering whatever, right? That's saving us months and months of us going back and forth, right? Us trying to nickel and dime each other. Right? I'd rather not do that.
All right. So hold on. So that means I have to wait for 20 years to get my money. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're gonna wait 20 years to even pay taxes.
Wait, so hold on.
Wait, so let me break this down for you. So so there's a lot of confusion that's going on right now, right? So 4%, let's start with the 4%.
Okay.
Right, let's take it a little step by step. Do me a favor, what's 4% of 250,000?
It's probably around it's about $10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So that $10,000 is what I'm giving you every single year just for being my bank.
Okay. All right. So but then don't I still have to pay the taxes?
Yeah, you got to pay taxes on that $10,000. Which,
okay,
if you're interested, if you're interested, I can make this number a little larger and put this number way lower, so you can actually avoid paying taxes on that interest.
Oh, but don't I have to pay the taxes up front, like
nope.
I'm doing here? Oh yeah, how does that work?
Well, technically, I don't want to get too deep into it, right? But technically, there's actually no transfer of title. So the deed officially does not move.
That means I have to keep the property. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, so then who's the owner?
The owner is actually the note.
Okay.
Right. So you giving me the note is actually acts as the title and deed. So I still technically own the property, but you actually get liberated from all tax liabilities until that end of the 20 years is over.
Okay. So then who deals with the tenants?
Oh, I deal with the tenants.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I also deal with the taxes, insurance. Right. I also deal with the city.
All right.
So I don't know if you're having issues with the city, but I would also deal with that as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So if you're interested, I could, if you don't want to pay taxes on that $10,000 every single year, because that interest is taxable. Okay. All right. And I don't know what tax bracket, right? You could use your imagination, right? It may be 40, maybe 50, maybe 80, right? Who knows? With our government, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, though, I could raise this up a little bit more just so that I could lower this interest rate for you, so you could pay less taxes.
Okay.
Now, before we move forward, would you have interest in doing that?
Yeah, I gotta discuss.
Talk to your CPA.
Yeah, I gotta also talk to my wife.
Exactly.
I don't know if we want to keep waiting for 20 years.
Okay, got it.
I think 20 years is a little too long.
So you want money now?
Preferably, yes.
Okay. So do you want money now, or do you want to save more and you want more stability?
You know, what we like to do is sell this property, maybe go on a little bit of vacation before we actually hit retirement.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Right.
Got it. So what you're saying is you want some money down.
Yes.
Got it.
I would prefer some money down.
How much?
I'd say, you know, a standard 20% should be great.
I could do 20%. Or I can go to the bank and I can get 15 or 20%, and I could just cash you out, and you end up paying $85,000 in taxes.
Okay. All right. So then.
Could we meet in the middle? How about like 10?
Okay.
Because I was gonna negotiate 0.
Well, I don't know. I think I still want a little bit of, you know, a little bit more.
Yeah. So let's say hypothetically I do give you more.
Okay.
Right. Let's say I give you 15% down.
Sure.
Compared to, let's say, 5% down.
Okay.
Right. What's 15% of 250,000? That's what?
About 40,000, I should say. No, about 38,000.
That's 42,500 bucks. Right. So it's $42,500. And 5% will be around
17,000.
17.5.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's 12.5. I'm sorry.
12.5. Okay, 12.5.
Yeah.
Awesome. $12,500.
Sure.
Okay, great. In that case, that's actually 37.5. My math was wrong. Sorry. So 37.5, right? So you got 12,500 bucks versus 37,500 bucks. Now it looks like you're getting a lot more money, and that's great, right? How much money do you need to go on your cruise?
You know, I was thinking about spending about $20,000.
$20,000. Okay, just about $20,000. Wonderful. Here's an idea for you, right?
Okay.
What if you gave me 10% down?
Okay.
Right? But I'll give you the down payment in the form of me paying for all your expenses in your cruise.
Yeah, that could work.
But you don't have to do anything.
All right. That could work. I still would like to talk to my wife about
Yeah, no,
this.
talk to your wife, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll think about that, but I still do like to cash, and I still think that 20 years is a little too long.
A little too long. Okay, so do you want to?
I don't know if I'm going to be around in 20 years. I'm going to be 88.
You'll be 88. Yeah, exactly.
So
the average male life expectancy is what, 79 now?
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to last long.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Okay, so those 20 years, what do you want it to be? Or are you saying you want a balloon?
I don't. What is that? Is that are you asking if I want a toy balloon?
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so give me a balloon. No, so the balloon is basically. So let's say that you have a 20-year note. Okay. And let's say that you don't want to wait 20 years.
All right.
So that's clearly what I'm hearing from you, right? Sure. So let's say we input in what's called a 10-year balloon.
Okay.
Right. A 10-year balloon implies that in 10 years you have the option of getting cash down.
I see.
Right. So whatever's left on the balance, I have to give you all cash.
Okay. Yeah, I like that a little better because I don't know if I'm going to be around in 20 years.
Okay,
yes.
So you like the 10-year balloon?
Yes.
So we'll put that in there. So let's go back to the down payment. All right. So 5% down payment is $12,500 bucks. 15% down payment is $37,500 bucks. Right.
Okay.
What's bad is that you're still going to have to pay relatively the same amount of closing costs.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
But let's say because there's no official title transfer, right? There's not a huge emphasis on the closing, right? There's not an exchange of anything significant for that matter. Let's cut that 8% closing cost down to 4%. Okay. Right. Sure. So that takes our $20,000 closing down to $10,000. Right. And that down payment is taxable.
Okay. Right.
So you'll probably most likely get taxed on that 40% ordinary income.
See it. Okay.
Right. So let's take the 12,000. Let's take the 37,500. Right? So let's subtract 10,000 from the closing. Mm-hmm. That's 27,500, and you also have 40% of this number. Okay. Of 37,500 bucks. All right. Let's take a stab at what that is.
10%.
40%.
40%. Oh wow. Yeah, it's probably around 15,000.
Right. Probably around 18,000 actually. Right. So 18,000. So we're subtracting $18,000 from that 27,500 bucks. We are left with 9,500.
Oh, let's see.
I don't know how much of a cruise you can go with 9,500, but
yeah, you're right.
And obviously the 5% is going to be a pretty similar scenario, except you're going to actually pay less taxes on that 12,500. Okay. Because you're paying 40% of 12,500, not 40% of 37,500.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I'll think about that 5%. You know what? Better yet, just how do we do this? Are we gonna go through an attorney? Or?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, we have to. I go everything through an attorney.
All right. Okay. So.
Well, let me remind you though.
Is there a contract, or what do we do?
Yeah. No, there's a closing contract, right? This is traditional repsy, right?
Okay.
But with the down payment, if you actually do a 0 down payment, you actually pay no taxes on it.
I see.
And you actually get more of your money.
Sure.
On a monthly basis.
I still like the some cash up front.
Some cash up
I just
front.
want to make sure that I have a little bit up front.
Skin in the game.
Absolutely.
Got it. So you want stability from what it sounds like.
Yes.
You want security. So here's a clause that I'm going to include in there, and that actually goes along with every single, you know, if you being the bank. I don't know what it's called, right? But you're being the bank in this situation, right? Would it be any value to you, right? If I add in a clause in the contract saying that if I default, on this note, right? And we can define what the word default means. You get the property back.
All right.
Property back, and you keep all the payments I've made up to that date. Meaning, if I've made payments faithfully for 5 years, right? And I default for some reason, you get the property back, and you get to keep all the money that I had the entire time. And everything I do, like let's say I raise rents, let's say I make the property better, you get to keep all it as is. Would that be any value to you?
Yeah, you know, I like that.
That would.
More security, yeah.
It is more security. So do me a favor. Put a number on that. Like monetary number wise, right? In dollar amount. How much of value is that to you?
Well, I mean, it's the whole property.
Oh, it's the whole property. So $250,000 worth.
Absolutely.
So it's worth $250,000 to you.
Yes.
Got it.
Sure.
5%, no money down. You said you want to talk to your co-pilot and also your account on how much money you exactly. Because remember, it's not about how much money that you get; it's how much more you keep. Right? Because that 37.5 became 9,500 real quick. Right? Went down real fast. Right? So it's more about the money that you actually keep. Right? So here's what I'm proposing right now. Let's just keep it at 10% down. Right? Let's just meet in the middle, hypothetically speaking. Right? I think that's a happy medium. Let's say it's 10% down, 10-year balloon. Right? 20-year amortization. 4% interest. Right? And again, I don't know what the payment's going to be on this, but if it's 4%, you're paying taxes on the $10,000, which I'm giving you every single year. Right? So here's another thing you want to ask your CPA. Do you want a higher purchase price in exchange for a lower interest rate?
Sure.
You do?
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. I'll talk to my attorney. I'll talk to my accountant, and let me run this by my wife. Do you have something they can shoot me? You can send me.
Well, no, you're gonna send this paper over.
Okay.
And you know what? Here, let's do this. Right? Let me get on the phone with your attorney. Right? The only person I will not get on the phone with, because I want you to have that conversation with your CPA, is your CPA. Right? But let me get on the phone with your attorney, because most attorneys are not going to understand this aspect. Now, I will tell you this: I will make possibly a bit more money doing this, giving you just a cash offer. But I want the property to be able to pay for itself.
Yeah. Let me take this to my attorney, and I'll think about it.
Okay, great. So right now, you said you want 250, 4% interest, 20-year amortization, 10% down, 10-year balloon. With these clauses in there, is there anything that I'm missing?
No, I mean, I'll just verify that with my attorney, see my accountant, and see.
When are you gonna speak with your attorney?
Probably this weekend. I'll talk to them. Yeah, I'll see them this weekend.
Specifically, what time?
Probably in the morning.
The morning?
Yes.
Great. So would you mind if I get included in that conversation? Because most attorneys are not knowledgeable about this concept. Yeah. And just to give you an idea, I bought 80 units of apartment complex with this concept.
Sure. Maybe after I have a talk with them.
Okay. Would it also help you if I gave you the sellers of all the individuals I bought this with? If I gave you their contact and you can ask them all the questions you want?
Yeah, I'll get some reference from them. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What else can I do for you? What can I do to make this deal better for you?
You know what? No, I think it looks great. I just need to verify if that's true, and if it's true, then I'll take. Let's look at a possibility of having a contract.
All right, I love that answer.
All right,
awesome. It's a pleasure meeting you.
All right, thank you.
All right,
end scene. All right, guys. So that's it. I played a great Juan John from Divided Airlines, right? Which obviously you guys know what the parody of.
You should post this picture and then put it on the.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get you guys this picture right here. This very artwork. You guys will get that. And for those on Facebook Live, if you guys want to see this recording, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel because this will be on YouTube either tonight or tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys get on YouTube, search the Kwak Brothers. And if you guys thought that this was helpful, if you guys thought that this is great, we actually included in the link description down below, we have the owner financing cheat guide and calculator and analysis. So if you guys want to download that to show you how we got into this conversation, what to look for in a seller, how to analyze the deal so that we know that whatever we're putting down on the piece of paper will work for us and it will have cash flow for us. So any thoughts, Daniel, from you?
No, that was fun. I woke up like 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. So here's what I would suggest, and I'm surprised I didn't do this. So usually when I go into a negotiation or I talk with the lender, which is on a weekly basis, that's the one that you got to fill your pipeline, right? So if you're serious about investing in real estate and you're trying to raise money, you're trying to do deals, right? Have offers and meeting with investors on a weekly basis. Fill up that pipeline, right? Fill it. You should have one appointment minimum every single week, right? The only way you're going to get better is by doing it over and over and over again. I watched my mentor negotiate this exact conversation probably at least 100 times.
Yeah.
You also have to be educated because you have to understand in the beginning I asked him a lot of questions,
right?
And it's because I want to know what route to go, right? When you meet a guy who's owned the property for 3 years, they don't have the highest tax bracket, right? That's a whole different conversation than, right? So be knowledgeable about seller financing. I can confirm for most people that I meet do not know what seller financing is, right? I met a guy yesterday. Last night I was running a training. He came up to me and he asked me a question about seller financing, and I asked him, do you even know what seller financing is, right? He says, well, isn't that when you get all your money up front? I was like, no, like that's the opposite of what seller financing is. And this guy has supposedly been studying real estate for 14 years, going to different seminars, reading YouTube books. And I'm just like, wow, that's effective, right? So get educated, right? Obviously, we have our platforms for you to be able to do that. But one thing that I did not do before I negotiated this is I didn't throw off my anchor. So what you do, right? What I do typically when I go into a conversation with the seller or even a lender, I pop out what's called an anchor, and it's a preconditioned just act that I do, right? And usually my anchor when I go is I do oh no, right? So I do something that's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, real quick, that gets me in the right mindset and takes me back to where I'm sharp, I'm asking the right questions, and I'm able to close the deal right then and there. But that's super duper important. Before you have that conversation, you want to be able to establish an anchor. So next time you close a sale or you close a lender, right, you close a deal, make sure you set an anchor, right? It's something that takes you back to that original mindset, the original state where you feel like you're on top of the world, you can get everything done, right? You just feel like a rock star. Right? Set that anchor that way before every conversation that's key and pivotal, you're able to set that anchor off and go right into that state where you use. I use it every single day, right? I have about 3 to 4 or 5 appointments, if not more, every single week where I'm meeting with lenders or I'm meeting with sellers. And a lot of it is just practice, guys, right? Just going out there and doing it over and over and over again. And at first, you're going to be terrible, right? But allow yourself to learn, give yourself the permission to fail. I've had this conversation many, many times. Many times. I've had this conversation. I've watched it 100 times before with my mentor, and I've done it myself a lot of times. If not, if it's 100, it's probably a lot more than that.
Right.
But I did this a lot, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through an actual seller, through the phone, right? I prefer to do it face to face so I could read their body language and they're more upfront with me and more honest with me. But I've done this many, 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 many times. Right.
All right, so we're going to close this out, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching our podcast. For those who are watching on Facebook Live, make sure you jump on, again, another shameless plug, get on our YouTube channel and subscribe for more videos like this. We'll have plenty more videos coming out soon. Next week is October 2nd. We're going to have Mr. Jeff Armstrong. We're going to have Mr. Jeff Armstrong join us for a podcast all about seller finance notes, which is a little bit different type. It actually has to do with this. But a little bit different note. And then the following week, we're going to have Mr. Nathan Tabor all the way from North Carolina. He might actually talk about what happened to Hurricane Florence, how it's impacting his business over there. But at the same time, he's going to share with us on his operation of
multifamily, fix and flip.
Multifamily fix and flip. Multifamily fix and flip. So,
and this man, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Don't quote me on it. But from what I know about Nathan, I'm very good friends with Nathan, right? Phenomenal dude. In his career, he's netted in his bank account over $60 million by fixing and flipping apartment complexes, fixing and flipping multifamily buildings, and that is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. All right, so guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week in next week's podcast. Take care.
Well, hello there. You made it to the end of this video. Congratulations, and that probably means that you like our video and you love what we did. So be sure, if you want to get more information, more YouTube videos from us about real estate investing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to make sure that you get notifications on our future videos about real estate investing.